Welcome to EXPOsion 2018. We're glad you're all here. We just had a wonderful panel discussion up front, and I want to thank our panelists again from WAMC, Art New England, and New England newspapers. I want to thank Cat TV for recording that. You'll be able to find that online soon enough on their site and probably BenningtonAreaArtsCouncil.org. So without further ado, this is the third edition of EXPOsion, and it's our first time greeting you as the Bennington Area Arts Council, the official arts council of Bennington, Vermont. I want to thank our hosts here at the Mount Anthony Country Club once again, all our other sponsors, the Town of Bennington, GVH Studio, and we are today's signature sponsors, our gold sponsors, our Bennington Potters, Express Copy, Craft Producers, and MSK Engineering and Design. Silver sponsors this year are Cray Printing, Tri-State Area Federal Credit Union, TAM Waste Management, or TAM Waste Management. I always call Trevor TAM, but I don't think that's what he calls his company. Mount Anthony Country Club. EXPOsion is designed to be a jumping off point for the upcoming collective seasons of art, craft, and historical events in the greater Bennington area. While the winter was full of exciting shows and exhibitions, and is finally over, the coming of summer always creates a new wave of excitement throughout the valley. I want to welcome and thank our panelists from this morning and their associates. Be sure to stop at their tables and say hello. WAMC Northeast Public Radio, New England newspapers, and Art New England are to my right at these three tables, and they're going to be spending the entire afternoon with us. During this past year, the Bennington Area Arts Council embarked on several new campaigns. We undertook the financial management and selection tasks of the Sonatina Scholarship Fund. Unfortunately, Polly Vanderlyn from Sonatina is under the weather, but they do have literature there, so she sends her regrets. The total awards are upwards of $11,000 and 16 scholarships. We are also managing the grant that the Sonicals were awarded, which has brought their unique piano experiment back to Bennington, where it originated. We also saw the National Center for Arts Research name Bennington County in the top 3 most vibrant communities and Berkshire County tops in our respective population classifications. That makes us one of the most exciting arts corridors in the country. Yeah, go ahead. That's pretty exciting. I think that's pretty exciting. Isn't that exciting? We don't need any cheap tricks here. I just came from a marketing seminar. We also saw Bennington Center for the Arts gifted to Southern Vermont College, thanks to a creative and thoughtful work of our friends and original members Elizabeth Small and Bruce Laumeister. Across town, the Robert Frost House Museum has now been entrusted to Bennington College. Both of these mergers help to ensure the continued use of these institutions in the interest of the cultural benefit of the community. At the same time, they greatly expand the educational opportunities of the host colleges. 2018 also began with the centennial celebration of Southwestern Vermont Healthcare and Medical Centers. With a full year of activities planned, the decided kickoff event was a commemorative exhibit at the Bennington Museum. What better way to celebrate 100 years of healthcare than with our esteemed bastion of local history? SVHC President Tom D. could not be with us today because he's with his wife Rita at her sculpture opening in Long Island, so we wish them well. We are partnering in a community arts events such as Story Night, the Murals Project, pop-up galleries, and of course Bennington Arts Weekend, which is on the first weekend of each August. We now have a full website with an arts calendar linked to the Vermont Arts Council's calendar, marketing assistance, and special announcements like EXPOsion. In the last year, we have begun to build our membership. There are levels for every person or organization. We encourage you to join us. It's fast and easy. We are at BenningtonAreaArtsCouncil.org. For official release today, on October 27th, GVH Studio and the Arts Council will host a Fallapalooza concert special at Old Castle Theater. Get the collaboration thing going on here? We are very excited to bring the Starline Rhythm Boys back to Main Street to celebrate their 20th anniversary. So look for those tickets to go on sale in the summer, but we're happy to collaborate with all those groups and bring that great show back. Besides industry events and financial management, we have collaborated all along with all of the economic development organizations like the Bennington Area Chamber of Commerce and the Shires, the Bennington Downtown Alliance, the Town of Bennington, all sponsors for today, and our original advisory partner, the Bennington County Regional Commission. Since our early days as the Cultural Bennington Planning Committee, we identified several key goals. The single most aggressive goal was the vision of an economic cultural strategy for the towns of the region. I am thrilled to announce that the planning grant recently awarded to the towns of Bennington County has begun, and the regional cultural plan process. After 6 years of work, the task has begun thanks to tireless efforts of the Bennington County Regional Commission working with the arts councils and local municipalities. This cultural plan is going to be the culmination of all of our efforts and will require all of our voices. Please keep an ear open and get on board. This is an enormous boost to our cultural economy. Please help me welcome our new partner in the creative economy's future, our cultural plan author and EXPOsion 2018 keynote speaker, Julia Dixon. Thank you all and enjoy the day. Welcome, Julia. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Hi, everybody. Yeah, I'm not that tall. I'm not tall. Not that tall. Thank you. Thank you so much, Greg, for inviting me to come and speak at this wonderful event. First, I feel like I should tell you a little bit about myself, for those of you who I don't already know. I am a creative economy consultant based in the Berkshires of Western Massachusetts, North Adams specifically, not too far from here. If I look familiar, it may be because I have a standing dinner date with my partner Tony every week at Cilantro in Bennington. Every week we come and eat here. It's wonderful to live so close to Bennington County. As I said, we take advantage of Bennington's great restaurants and brew pubs. I have purchased the occasional emergency tube of paint at Jay's Art Shop. We drive up 7A to Manchester to take photos of the mountains in the fall, and once again, take advantage of Manchester's eateries, specifically Sam's Wood-Fired Pizza, where the pepperoni is like a dessert plate. The size of it's crazy. So you'll notice there's a food thread here. But like the Berkshires, Bennington County is rich with assets other than food. I have made visits and purchases at Bennington Museum and Old Castle Theater, purchased jewelry at Hawkins House and Katie Cleaver Metalsmith, my engagement ring. So I didn't buy it. I go Christmas shopping at Bennington Potters, and I have exhibited my own paintings at Confluence Gallery in Reedsboro. You can see that painting and purchasing are two additional threads that run throughout my life. I may not know your community intimately, but I know it well enough to feel value in its natural beauty, superb retail, New England hospitality, and of course, arts and culture. These qualities are what kept me in this region for almost a decade. I grew up in the Mohawk Valley, and I hightailed it south after high school to the New York City area to study painting at Purchase College in Westchester County, just north of New York City. I wasn't sure what kind of career I would build with these skills, and for some reason, selling paintings was never a dream or a pursuit that I had. So I cobbled a living together as an artist assistant, a muralist, and a teacher in Manhattan and in Westchester. Little did I realize back then that I was beginning to absorb a business. I wouldn't call it acumen, but instead an understanding of the importance of business, particularly in the arts. After working for a few years at the Westchester Arts Council, I moved to North Adams to study arts management as a 25-year-old intern at Massachusetts College of Liberal Arts' very reputable summer internship program known by the acronym BHIP. Here, I worked on an arts-driven economic development program called Down Street Art, which placed temporary galleries in vacant storefronts in order to increase property value, engage cultural tourists, drive residents to Main Street, and revitalize the downtown. It was the program's only their second season at the time, and this work enabled me to see for the very first time the impact that arts and culture can have on a community. It was this impact that resonated with me in a way that working for individual artists and organizations never did. The arts can have an incredible impact on makers and consumers for sure, but they can also transform communities and change environments for the better. So Berkshire Creative was an organization that was doing this kind of work for Berkshire County since 2007, over 10 years ago. It was the first regional organization dedicated to fostering and strengthening the creative sector, certainly in the state of Massachusetts, but also, I believe, in Western New England and Eastern New York State. I took the helm of this organization in 2012 and began focusing solely on the creative economy, or the unsexy aspect of the arts. Jobs, products, and services that are produced by the many different types of businesses in a creative sector, including cultural nonprofit institutions, creative manufacturers, small businesses, independent artists, and freelancers. The underlying philosophy of creative economy advocates is that museums are businesses, theaters are businesses, potters are businesses, designers and printers are businesses, and these businesses attract customers, donors, patrons, and visitors who spend money, who in turn, those organizations also spend money locally. But what was really important about Berkshire Creative was that it brought this seemingly disparate county, this trifurcated large county together to create one creative industry. Berkshire County contains 2% of the state's population and 10% of the state's geography. That means there's not a lot of people scattered throughout a fairly large rural area. Maybe not too similar from Bennington County. So while divisions existed and still do, creatives connected with each other in a way that they might not have done before for support and resources. They understood that they were part of a larger community of like-minded people who are all trying to not simply make a living, but better their community. A cultural plan does this same thing and then some. It defines the steps needed to leverage arts and culture to improve the community, but not just economically. Yes, that's a part of the cultural planning process, but cultural plans also look at how the arts can impact a community's identity, appeal, education system, infrastructure, and cross-sector alignment. A cultural plan ensures arts access to all residents and establishes public policies that support the creative sector. A cultural plan aligns priorities and objectives for anchor cultural institutions. A cultural plan mediates community challenges such as population loss and downtown revitalization. And a cultural plan bridges physical and psychological divides and unites diverse communities through their shared investment in artistic and cultural assets. These are many possible impacts of a cultural plan. And many exciting strategies can help a community reach their goal. But as one of my undergraduate painting professors once told me, if you don't know where you're going, any bus will get you there. I love that. It makes so much sense to me. So process is just, if not more important than the plan itself. Throughout these next 58 weeks, I will work to understand your community through research and asset mapping, gathering input from all of you to identify opportunities and challenges in your business and in your community, and assembling a vision and action steps for your future that are crafted by you, not me. Because while it's nice to hear what a cultural plan can be, let me tell you what a cultural plan is not. A cultural plan is not top-down decision-making. A cultural plan is not a document that is going to collect dust on a bookshelf. A cultural plan is not an unrealistic set of expectations. And a cultural plan does not serve one individual's, organization's, industries, or town's agenda. It is a roadmap for the region that you and you alone can create. So please, plan to participate and let others know that they should participate too. This summer, I will be soliciting your thoughts and opinions through an online survey, stakeholder interviews, and community conversations. This fall, I will be asking for your participation in community gatherings where you will be asked to workshop possible strategies to strengthen your creative sector. And next winter, I will need your feedback as a cultural plan begins to take shape. If you have other thoughts or opinions for me in between these moments of engagement, please send them to me via email at julia@juliakimdixon.com or grab my business card. Please do not send me a Facebook friend request. Please. I reserve that platform for watching cooking videos only. You guys know what I'm talking about. And if you'd like to learn more about me, you can visit my website, juliakimdixon.com. Thank you, and I look forward to working with you. You're welcome. That's it. Or no, that's not.
Nope, that is it. Thank you, Julia. And thank you, everyone. We're going to leave you alone this year. We're not going to interrupt the conversation, and we're just going to let this go until 3 o'clock. So thank you all for coming.